What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy, Some. Hit the keys. And in today's video, I've got two newer plugins that have just recently came out. One is Kshmr Reverb and the other one is Fire Maximizer. Make sure if you guys do like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. But with no further delay, let's get right into these plugins, baby. Some, hit the key. All right, guys, so the first plugin that I want to bring to you guys today is in collaboration with WA Productions and Kshmr, and it's called Kshmr Reverb. Before we get to the plugin, I do have to say one thing though. I have been seeing some comments in some people's comment sections lately, and they're trying to compare WA Productions to Unison Audio. Y'all gotta cut that out, dog. WA Productions does make some cost-efficient plugins that'd be $20, $30, and you trying to compare them to Unison Audio, who we making plugins for $300, $400, and say, cut that out, stop that, cut it out right now. So when you open up Kshmr Reverb though, Kshmr Reverb is going to look like this. So it does look similar to some other Kshmr plugins like the Kshmr Essentials and the Kshmr Kick Essentials. But with this reverb, it is pretty solid. What makes this reverb special though is the features down here at the bottom. So you have full duck and then you have fade in duck, which is pretty cool. You can control the release time. It's this ducking threshold and this gate threshold that makes it special because it makes it easy to see and it makes it easy for you to be able to control that tail of your reverb. And that's very solid. What I also like is the gating feature. If I'm using it on some drums or something like that, it's got this soft transient and this tonal reset. This tonal reset adds a little bit of flavor to your sound. You got reverse down here. So obviously you can get that reverse reverb and you can put how much that you want it to attack. And then you have this octave control right here. And it's going to basically, you can add an octave of sound to the reverb, or you can go down an octave. So you can add some brightness or you can add some darkness. So I made a little sample beat like always. You guys already know the vibes around here. I use Kshmr Reverb on like everything. I used it on both my pianos, the chords, the melody. I used it on the guitar. I used it on the vocal chop. I used it on the ARP. The beat's not all the way mixed down, but let's go. All right, guys, so that's a little sample beat I put together for you guys today. Let's go ahead and hop into Kshmr Reverb and check it out just a little bit more. So now when we hop into Kshmr Reverb, and what I want you guys to notice is initially one of the things that I really like about this is what the piano sounded like without the Kshmr Reverb on there. All right, but once I threw Kshmr Reverb on there, I just got it to sound like this. All right, so what you're noticing right here is that it's reverbing, but it's ducking every time another transient hits. So the way I put the chords together was I put the chords together so that there was a break in the chord. So it's like dun, dun, dun. And so then at that dun, then you can hear the tail end of the reverb come in. And then as soon as the next note plays, it cuts that out. And with that's super nice because it gives you a different feel on your stuff. It allows you to keep your reverb clean and stuff like that, but you can change this ducking threshold and it will completely change that sound. So like, let's say I turn this all the way up like this, it's not gonna duck it anymore like that on the reverse. So then you can tell every single time that a note is hitting, the piano's hitting, the reverb is starting right away. And that's just the difference right here what this duck will do for you. So again, you guys can see that every time that wherever I put this ducking at, the reverb is only going to play when you're in the black, when you see the black versus the orange, because the black is where there's nothing playing. So super nice feature. Another thing I like about this is this octave thing over here. So I know I said something about this earlier, but like, let's say I was to turn this down and turn this off, and now we were to push play again. All right, but if I turn this octave thing up, now listen to it. So it's giving that little extra high-end flair, but you can also go down an octave as well. So that's a nice feature. Another thing that I really like is this EQ over here. So you can just literally EQ your reverb however you want to. So, you know, if I pull these nodes like over here real quick, you know, we'll hear what the reverb sounds like in full. So now what we can do is we can shape this reverb however we want to. So again, I'll push play. So you hear how you're getting all that low end frequencies. That's going to be hard to mix, but I can just slide this over now. And you can hear how I'm just only getting the high end frequencies of the delay. Super nice as well. So you can really control that reverb like that a lot. All right, so what I'm gonna do real quick for you guys real quick is just go through a few of the presets real quick. So here are some of the presets. So that's a nice little preset there. Here's another one. So that children's choir sounds pretty good. We can turn this all the way up though. And we can also turn this tonal reset on. So one thing I wanted to mention about this tone manager, what makes this nice is that if you turn this soft transient up, it basically, like it's saying, it's gonna remove all the harshness from the initial transient. So it's going to basically, I don't want to say side chain, but it's like it's side chaining the reverb from the initial transient. So it's allowing the transient to come through and then the reverb to follow it. And that's something that's nice as well. And you can turn that up and get that to affect it as you want. Some other things that I use this on in this beat, I use it on the vocals for sure. So these vocals, they sounded like this without the reverb on there. You know, some basic vocals, but then I threw this Kshmr reverb on there and I got it to sound like this. So super solid. There are some different presets down here as well that you can use from like different rap vocals, plates and stuff like that. But there is a bunch of different presets that you can use for all the different sounds. Another thing that I used it on was this guitar. So on this guitar, basically the guitar sounded like this before I threw Kshmr reverb on there. All right, so now once I threw that Kshmr reverb on there, I got it to sound like this. And so you can hear that extra top end sheen. That's this octave down here. I can't stress enough, I like this. So listen to it again, and I'm just gonna turn this up a little bit and you'll be able to hear. So that just gives it a different sound. Another thing that I like with this as well is like I could slide this over and I can get that reverb to just be on whatever frequencies I want. I know I've talked about that a little bit, but it sounds a little bit better on this guitar. And you can see how that reverb is bringing out so much in that sound. Another thing that I used it on was this arpeggio right here. So with this arpeggio, basically the arpeggio sounded like this to start off with. Nothing too fancy, but then once I hit Kshmr reverb, it sounds like this. So you can hear how it's gating the reverb and it's giving it a different flavor and a feel. And again, same thing, I could turn this octave up. Throw a little reverse on. You know what I'm saying? And so you can do so much with this. I can't stress enough. This is a very solid reverb. It's not going to be your end all be all reverb. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, crystalline's still my GOAT. But this is a very solid reverb that you can do all kinds of different stuff with. And it's not going to require you to do all kinds of automation, like with doing like those big vocal swells and breaks, or doing big swells on pianos, or whatever the sound it is, where you're trying to get that huge swell of the reverb. This is the reverb that you want to use for that, because you can literally just put that duck feature on there. You can adjust the threshold, and just that easily you can get the sound that you want. All right, guys, and the second plugin that I have for you guys today comes from the good people over at United Plugins, and it is called Fire Maximizer. When you open up Fire Maximizer, it is going to look like this. I don't know if Fire Maximizer is for everybody, but if you are looking to add a little bit of different flavor and a little bit of extra sauce onto your sound, this might be for you. When you look at this maximizer over here, you have your ceiling control. So you can go from 0 to -3 dB. I typically like to be in the -1 to 1.5 range. Then over here, you have your drive knob. So this is how much you can drive the sound from -6 to up to 24 dB. Just know if you go this high, you're definitely going to destroy the sound. You have a clean knob right here. So as you're driving your sound, it's going to introduce a little bit of saturation and distortion. So the clean knob below that will allow you to clean that signal up a little bit if you want to. And then you have your look ahead. It can look ahead up to 10 milliseconds to help you clean that signal. Down here, you have oversampling. So you have 2 times, 4 times, 8 times, and 16 times. Just know the more that you oversample, so once you get up to like 4, 8, and 16 times, it is going to introduce some latency on your computer. And it is going to give you that crackling, and it's going to overwork your CPU, unless you have a nice computer, and then it'll be able to handle it. Right here in the middle is where all the magic happens on this one though. So this one has an XY axis, and as you're using the maximizer, you can either clip it, you can saturate the sound, you can run it through multi-band compression, or you can limit, or you can put it in the middle and you can fine tune to get the actual sound that you want. So that's what I mean by this maximizer might not be for everybody, because it's a decent maximizer, but this is for somebody who wants to add a little more flavor, a little more sauce in that maximizing process. So I'm gonna push play. I'm gonna push bypass to start, and then I'm going to let the bypass go, and you're gonna hear obviously the oomph that it gives. So obviously you can hear clear as day, it's doing what a maximizer does. But again, what's cool about this one is that you can get a different sound on that maximize. So like I can come over here and I can move it over to saturate, and it's gonna sound different. So I'm gonna start here at clip, and then I'm gonna go to saturate. Actually, I'm gonna start here at clip, and then I'm gonna go to multiband. All right, so now I'm gonna go from multiband to saturate, and then over to limit. And so like with the multiband, I wish I didn't know how many bands it was using, but you can obviously hear that it's pulling the sound down, it's compressing it more. When I go to limiting, you're gonna hear it's gonna get that pumping sound of limiting. The same with saturation, you're gonna hear it's gonna get a little bit distorted, but let's go. So you can hear there clear as day. Just moving it around to the different parameters is going to give you a different sound. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and come over here to the saturate, and I'm gonna drive it a little bit, and I'm gonna turn that clean up. So again, you can see that you can easily destroy the sound. I just wanted to kind of exaggerate it a little bit. I'll come over here and do the same. I'll turn the drive up a little bit on clip. All right, so now I'll go ahead and come back over here to multiband. I'm gonna mess with the ceiling over here a little bit for you guys too. So, I mean, as you guys can see there, you can get different sounds. I'll play with it in between some different bands too a little bit so you can hear what it sounds like. So if it was me, I'm probably working somewhere around this region right around here. And then I'm just gonna probably drive it just a little bit, you know? And you can see the subtle difference that it made right there. A maximizer's job isn't to get your signal to go from 6 to 0. A maximizer's job is to maximize what you have and keep it around the same level that you want it at. I feel like this does it. I feel like as long as you use the tool and you don't put it all the way in the corner to saturate and drive it all the way, you can get some decent results with this. So, all right, guys, so that's what I got for you guys today. I just wanted to bring a couple of plugins that I've been using recently to the channel. I've had them both for maybe a little over a week and I kind of enjoy using them. So, you know, if you like what you see in the demonstration, scoop them up. If not, you guys already know we're gonna have some more heat coming for you guys. So make sure if you guys do like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Some, hit the key.